Back with another video, listen to the Dragoon style. Let's get right into it. Now, Darts is the main character of the game, having his cloud-like appearance of resemblance, making this debut all the way back in the PlayStation 1 era. This game takes place in a world once torn apart by the ancient Dragon campaign. This Dragon campaign allows everybody involved to turn into these crazy Dragoon-style creatures. These creatures inherit the soul or spirit of a dragon, then they transform into these magnificent beings, increasing their physical, special attack, defense, and magic prowess for all the fighting that they'll need to do throughout the game. Dart's journey is basically started all the way back in his hometown when a mysterious stranger and monster destroyed everything right at the beginning of the story. All in flames and engulfed in flames symbolizes Dart's natural drawing into the red dragon, the red spirit flame himself. The real threat behind everything in this game kinda starts with Melbu. Melbu is this evil being that Dart must contest with, also going against the Grey Dragon, which Darts himself eventually turns into. Now, it's not about just dragons or about destiny and sacrifice, but you must carry and think about the past and the future when inheriting this dragon spirit. Everything that Darts is involved with is also pushed onto his allies, such as Rose, his love interest Shanna, and with him having the blood of the red dragon soaked in him, Dart will lead him and his allies to a wonderful end, baby. As Dart travels deeper into the world, he does end up learning that the ancient war, or known as the Dragon campaign, that involved dragons, winglies, and the destruction of civilizations, he ends up discovering in a shocking twist that the black monster and the black dragon that destroyed his own village, mentioned previously in the video, was connected directly to his own bloodline, his own dad, Ziegfeld, a figure tied to the deepest, darkest, and one of the most brutal attacks and discoveries in this world's history. Dart's revenge wasn't driven by anyone, wasn't nobody no more. He had to resolve and he had to conquer everything that his family, his bloodline, and his dad had done. He himself, being the offspring of this dragon, had to be and had become the key to stopping everything. It's crazy how this shit work, ain't it? Anyway, through this loss and everything else that he went through, Darts right here and this game alone is definitely worth talking about and diving into. Now, Shanna, or Shayna, is the main interest of Darts, our main character inside of the game. She starts off as a quiet little innocent girl, but you will soon see that she holds the power to determine a lot of things held within this realm. This is the story of Shayna, and she's often misunderstood in this game, but also for good reason. She grew up right next to Darts, or in a village next to Darts, called Celis. This wasn't a warrior. She was just chasing power. She was just kind, gentle, sent back, and they have a deep history going all the way back since they were kids. But then, just like Darts, Shayna had her village swarmed and attacked by outsiders as well. Shayna was then kidnapped, setting the entire goddamn story into play. Now, when my girl was kidnapped, of course Darts learned about the news, but this is only after his village was attacked. When Shayna ends up joining the group, she doesn't fight like everybody else do, not just physical, and she doesn't become a Dragoon until much later. But she does use the power of her healing, which draws her to the dragon. She's often the main support character in this role, but that's only half of the truth and half of the thing that you would discover about Shayna inside of the game. Shayna is actually a vessel of the moon, being the moon child. And with this power, she draws forth the moon dragon. Its purpose? To prepare and return the godlike destroyer. That means Shayna herself is in danger from inheriting this power. and Darts and the team perhaps must stop her from using this power. Lavitz. Now, Lavis, this guy right here, played a crucial role in the game and also was a great pivoting point. And he was also replaced by another character in the game who I will be mentioning in a separate video. Now, he wasn't the main character by any stretch of the mean, but man, his part in the story hits like no other. He was the captain of the knighthood, and this guy protected the town, which indeed were burned by the red dragon and the dragon that attacked the town of Shayna. Unlike many warriors in Legend of the Dragoon, Lavis fights for glory or revenge. He fights to protect his kingdom, and he fights to protect everyone that he swore to defend in the process. He eventually stumbles into our main character, Darts, the red dragon. Lavis becomes one of the most formidable foes, or formidable allies, excuse me. And his death was everything that turned Darts and got Darts on the path to accepting the dragon's soul himself. Lavis became the first Dragoon to inherit the Wind Spirit. This Wind Dragon became a bunch of the boost that the party receives throughout the game, increasing our speed in combat and also our evasion in combat. He's the backbone of the early game, but during the middle of the game, you will see how everything changes. This turning point happens right inside when you join the Empire forces. During the brutal battle against the willingly Commander Lloyd, Lavish steps forward. And during this process, as he shouldn't have tried, but he shall dared, Lloyd did the unexpected. Being far superior and having a far better Dragoon spirit, Lloyd obliterated Lavis with one blow, shocking everybody inside of the game and everybody who had been a loyal fan of Sir Lavis. But his death did not go in vain, as the party did seek to avenge him. Rose. Rose having one of the most calm names and actually being one of the most delicate flowers, but as the flower goes, if you get too close, there's often a mysterious presence to her. Her being one of the most laid back and chill characters inside of the game, her story remains one of the most mysterious and tragic, but carrying over from tens and hundreds of thousands of years. She's known about this guilt ever since childhood and ever since she's accepted her fate as being the dragon bearer. She's strong and she's always quite serious and always has this demeanor about her that she doesn't care. But once you learn to get close to Rose, you'll learn that everything is not really as it seems. Rose isn't new to this world of war. Rose isn't surprised by all the death and all the carnage. Rose has been fighting far longer than anybody in this game realizes until near the end. Rose is one of the original Dragoons, one of the ancient dragons from the Ancient Dragon campaign. This is what the game is centered around, a war that happened around 11,000 years ago. She was chosen by the dragon spirit, the dragon of darkness, hence the black attire and all the black getup that she wears. And she's fought against the Wingly Empire. She stood off against other dragons, and her spirit has been passed on throughout the time. But her greatest failure came when she couldn't stop her closest friend from turning evil. That friend was Ziegfeld, Darth's dad. She's promised that she wouldn't let the same happen to her son, but unfortunately for Darth's father, and Darth hadn't realized this until near the end of the story, but Rose has been protecting him from becoming fully evil, as she did not want to see her closest friend, Darth's father, do the same. Even worse, Rose has been bearing something horrible. Something she had to keep from everyone was that she was the one who killed Darth's father. She couldn't bear to tell the hopeful and joyful Darth this. So instead, she decided to keep this to herself. When Rose meets Darth, she sees something very familiar. And she herself doesn't realize that she has killed the son of the dad of this man. She loved and she had to destroy. This creates one of the most dynamic things in the whole game outside of our main love interest, carrying over symbols of guilt, protection, and the story also teaches us that redemption is all tied to each other. Rose doesn't just fight beside Dart, she tries to make sure history doesn't repeat itself, and she doesn't let his soul become evil. Kungol. Now, Kungol is the army of one, the son of one who saved him. Kungol village was also attacked when he was a young boy, and though he barely speaks, he does remember one name, and this is Emperor Dole. He does become the gold dragon eventually, but not without grief and strife, pretty much like our other characters experience. He's also very misunderstood, mostly because he's a giant and he doesn't talk very much, and he surely does, and sure as hell does not get along with other races. Kungol is a giant race known as the Gigantos, towering over everything and everyone inside of the game. Unlike humans and winglies, Gigantos, they're basically seen and only seen in the physical realm, not in the spiritual realm, such as the winglies. Kungol starts as a loyal enforcer, serving under Dole, the Mad Emperor, which once we do battle with inside of the game. Kungol then fights us off at first before joining the party. And that dude kicked our ass too, by the way. I mean, kicked the hell out of me, side note. But Kungol believes strength is everything. He respects power above everything else, which is why he inherited the Earth Dragon spirit. Everything began to change for Kungol when he ran into Dart's group. Unlike Dole, Dart's strength isn't just physical, it's emotional. So therefore, in this same emotional rage, he then projected onto Kungol and had Kungol have a change of heart. Again, with us doing battle, Kungol nearly kills us. But then battle had changed. Kungol found himself on the end of Dart's blade. Dart, somehow and for some reason, showing mercy, unlike he had done throughout the game. Kungol recognizes this strength, mixed with his compassion. Later on, running into the party again, Kungol decides to join. This Earth spirit projects on Earth, such as Gaia, and the forces that protect us, which Kungol ends up being the protector and dominant force-bearing party, or force-bearing character inside of our party. He stands like a wall and also provides us with shielding abilities as well as a magnitude of staggering attacks that we just devastate our boys with. Now this dude right here is really meant to give us some strength at the end of our game and the end of our journey. And though he is a simple character, do not let Kungol go underrated. Subscribe for more and enjoy for and get ready for part 2.